as they get set for the front end of a back-to-back showdown with one of the elite defensemen in the league, Oliver Ekman-Larsson and the Arizona Coyotes. Live from the SAP Center in downtown San Jose, it's the Sharks and Arizona Coyotes. Still clinging to life in the playoff race. The Sharks kick off a critical 28-hour stretch as they'll try to take 4 points from the Arizona Coyotes. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy Hahn. Welcome to Sharks Hockey here on Comcast Sportsnet California, along with Jamie Baker, who's inside the glass. A big back-to-back here against Arizona. Jamie starting here tonight, and the Sharks have to feel a little optimistic the way they played Wednesday against Colorado. A big 5-1 win.
Well, not just that, Randy. I think the last 4 games where they've got 7 out of a possible 8 points. Ever since that Ottawa loss in Ottawa, it's almost like the pressure's off, and they've been just focused on the game at hand. And you see Patty Marleau, he's been lighting the lamp. Different guys have been scoring. This team has played well defensively. They've gotten good goaltending. Last game against Colorado, they had 5 goals. They won the game 5-1. There's a nice goal against the Pittsburgh Penguins. San Jose has been playing well. They're feeling good. They realize the predicament that they're still in. But you know what? There's optimism. There's confidence in the locker room right now. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, balanced scoring Wednesday. 5 different goal scorers, 11 different players on the score sheet for the Sharks. Arizona has not had as balanced a score sheet on the year. In fact, their leading goal scorer is the only defenseman in the league to lead his team in goals. But he's special. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Oh, boy, is he ever. He's fun to watch. He'll bring you out of your seats. Look at this. Just end-to-end rush and ends up scoring on the second rebound. Just going through 5 guys for the Vancouver Canucks. He's got a great release. 21 goals. The first Swedish defenseman in NHL history to have 21 goals. Yes, Nicholas Lindstrom had 20. Never had 21. Ekman-Larsson does. Sharks have to keep an eye on him tonight. Well, with only 5 games to go and needing pretty much to win them all, it's all hands on deck for the Sharks, including the young players. Chris Tierney scored only twice in his first 33 games this year, but now he has 3 goals in his last 5. We'll visit with number 50, Chris Tierney, next. We are live inside SAP Center in San Jose. Only 2 home games left in the regular season. Monday night will be Fan Appreciation Night when Patrick Marleau will be adorned with a bobblehead in his image. Every fan will get them that night, but tonight the opponent is the Arizona Coyotes, and it starts a stretch of 2 games back-to-back here tonight and in the desert tomorrow between these teams. To the ice we go. Jamie Baker with Chris Tierney.
Chris Tierney, you've been scoring some goals lately. What's different? What have you changed to allow you to get this production?
Yeah, I think I'm just getting more confident with the puck. You know, we're going real well with me, Nietzsche, and Wiggles right now, so I think we just got to keep the chemistry up, and hopefully we can get a couple more as a line.
Got a young team in Arizona, yet they're playing for jobs. They don't have anything to lose. Aside from those, what's the challenge from a tactical standpoint that they offer tonight?
Yeah, you know, we got to be careful. You know, they can counter pretty quick, and they got some guys who can make skilled plays if you give them odd man rushes, so we can't take them lightly, and we got to play them like any other game.
Right, good luck tonight.
Thanks.
There's no other way to look at it. The Sharks have to win both ends of this back-to-back against Arizona. But it starts here tonight. The Sharks and the Desert Dogs will be back with the opening faceoff. Check out this evening's hottest starting goalies. Antti Niemi gets the net back for the Sharks. He's been under the weather, plus Alex Stalock's played very well. Now Stalock's under the weather. So Niemi gets the net back, a career mark of 14-4-4 against Arizona, against their rookie, Louis Domingue, out of Quebec, playing in only his 6th NHL game, a record of 1-1-1. Todd McLellan, he and the Sharks have had a lot of success the last 7 years since McClellan's been head coach against the Desert Dogs, 22-10-4. Dave Tippett, now his 12th year as the head coach in the NHL, before this with the Dallas Stars. And we are underway, a critical 2-game in 2-night stretch for the San Jose Sharks. They start the night 5 points behind LA for a playoff spot, and any way you cut it, the Sharks pretty much have to win both these games against Arizona, a team that is almost 30 points behind them in the Pacific Division standings. Matt Irwin from center ice. He'll get it in. Domingue back to slow it down for his defense. As these teams meet for the 4th of 5 times this year, Sharks have won 2 of the first 3 in the season series. As we look at our Xfinity starting lines, first for the San Jose Sharks tonight, and you'll see a couple of changes. One at forward with Mike Brown back in the lineup, number 18, skating on that line with Smith and Goodrow. And then on defense, number 3, making his Sharks debut in the NHL, Carl Stollery, with the Sharks missing 3 defensemen now that would typically be in there if healthy. Mirko Mueller, Scott Hannon, and Marquette Roglacic, and they score. Logan Couture with the Sharks' first shot of the game, and it's 1-0.
Well, just some speed through the neutral zone. That's one Domingue would love to have back. Nice little dish there from Tomas Hertl. Look at Couture pick that up on the outside of his left skate, and then he goes far side. The right-handed catching Domingue had his glove there, just fanned on it a little bit. And when you get a young goalie in his 6th NHL game, get pucks to him early. I'm sure the Sharks talked about it. They do that, they score on their first shot.
So Logan Couture, just 58 seconds into the game, scores in his 2nd straight game. He got a goal here on Wednesday night against Colorado. That's his 27th of the year, and the Sharks have exactly the start they wanted here against the Coyotes. And back into the zone they come on the attack. Marleau slows down, now plays it to the front of the net. In comes Tomas Hertl to get it back to Stollery. Burns takes a shot, ricochets wide. Now Thornton on the ice. He'll bring it out of the corner, send it back Burns' way, and that comes out over the blue line. Hertl and Marleau get the assists on Couture's goal just 58 seconds into the game.
For Couture, that's points in 5 straight games and 5 consecutive games against the Coyotes. I just love the way you see the skill of Logan Couture taking that puck off his outside of his skate. You're a little bit off balance. He's a left-handed shot veering to his right, and then he still goes far side top corner. I think that kind of fooled Domingue a little bit. So a good goal scorer's goal. Sharks up 1-0.
Louis Domingue up from the American Hockey League, originally a 5th-round draft pick of the Coyotes back in 2010. He's been playing in Portland, Maine for most of this year, but when Devan Dubnyk got traded to the Minnesota Wild, we know how that worked out for Dubnyk and the Wild. The Coyotes had to promote from the AHL, and Domingue's been the man. There's your Arizona lineup, and you'll see a number of names in there that won't be that familiar because they have a lot of AHL players up now, filling spots that were previously occupied by players like Keith Yandle and Antoine Vermette, who were traded. And Arizona has their share of injuries as well. Martin Hanzal, Michael Bodker, just a couple of guys, Laurie Korpikoski, another, who are banged up and not able to play today. Taylor Fedun, who had a nice game here on Wednesday night. Out there wearing number 43, paired with Matt Irwin, as Mike Brown back on the ice for the Sharks. Great to see number 18 return, be it late here in this season. Brown injured 2 separate occasions this year and playing in only his 9th game of the season. But when he's been in the lineup, the Sharks are 7-1, so that bodes well for them too. And now we have a penalty coming up. Let's listen for the call from referee Kyle Raymond.
Arizona calling number 44, 2 hits for hooking.
BJ Crombeen going to go.
You talk about Brown, just this is it. North-south, keep it simple. Battles, finishes his checks. He's not someone that's fun to play against. Very popular in the dressing room. We see Dylan here getting some speed through the neutral zone, establishes body position, ends up drawing a hooking penalty. Good job keeping his skates moving in that situation.
Sharks on a Cache Creek power play, and Domingue with a save right off the get-go. Sharks power play comes in ranked 6th in the NHL. They did not get on the board via the power play on Wednesday here in the 5-1 win over Colorado. All of the goals came at even strength, although 2 of them into the empty net. but even strength goals Wednesday from Mahan and Tierney and Marleau before the empty netters from Couture and Scott. And here's Marleau now as they set up. On the half boards, Pavelski over to Burns on the far side. Brent Burns drops it for Joe Thornton. Thornton to Marleau. He'll fire one that's blocked over the net by Chipchura. Back to Marleau again. And now to Burns. Trying to get it out front for Couture, who gets it back from Murphy. Now Marleau shoots off the save by Domingue. A rebound chance for Thornton. Couture, Burns, shoots. Domingue save. Thornton. And that one just wide as the Sharks power play getting lots of good looks in the first 50 seconds.
Well, great puck retrieval. Good puck movement, getting pucks and bodies to the net. And they had 3 or 4 good quality chances in that last sequence.
Quick re-entry. Hurdle lost it. It'll go back down. Power play goal leader for the Sharks, Joe Pavelski. He's got 19 this year. Second in the NHL. Second only to Alexander Ovechkin. Here's Melker Karlsson. He'll bank it around for Hurdle, waiting on the left wing. Tierney up top. Put in a shot, and Domingue the glove save.
Well, Sharks had a flurry of chances when the first power play unit. Lots of movement. You're going to see 3 guys down low. Burns was very active on the soyboards. There's a nice backhand pass there from Couture. Good rebound opportunity for Thornton. Domingue read that perfectly. Made a great save off of Thornton.
Arizona's had a tough go of it since the beginning of February. Since February 5th, they have a record of 4-20-2. Marleau, a shot block. And skated ahead by Joe Vitale. He'll get it in.
Well, Randy, you say 4-20-2, but all 4 of those wins were either in 2 of them in overtime, 2 in the shootout. You have to go back to February 3rd, 27 games ago, the last time they won a game in regulation.
Pavelski shot deflected and then knocked off the glass by Couture. Pavelski retrieves it. He's pushed off the puck, but has support. Couture able to move it to Thornton at the point. Back for Logan Couture on the near boards. Looking for Marleau down low. Penalty over, but the Sharks score! Just as Crombeen came out, the Sharks get on the board. It's Pavelski, and it's 2-0.
Well, Crombeen hadn't even entered the defensive zone, so the Sharks aren't going to get credited with a power play goal, but it's a power play influence goal, and it's Joe Pavelski with his 20th. And keep an eye on Pavelski. Down in the corner, he's going to slide into the soft spot. Puck goes down low. Sharks set up a little triangle. Pavelski stays in front of the man and then just goes far side. Just great job by the Sharks. A bang-bang play. Pavelski does what he does best. Finishes it off. No chance for Domingue. Sharks up 2-0. Exactly, as you mentioned, the start they wanted tonight.
37th goal for Joe Pavelski. Marleau and Couture get the assist, so those two have been in on both goals. Marleau and Couture. 5 minutes. Time of the goal, just 3 seconds after the power play expired. But as you correctly pointed out, Jamie, a power play influenced goal. And the Sharks up 2-0 here. And we've played just 5.5 minutes of the first period. Here's Justin Braun. He'll race down the right side. Gets it away, but wide. And it comes back out. Goodrow can't get to it at center. And now Phoenix attacking. And Gagne's pass. And the puck's in the net, but waved off. Looked like Tobias Reeder was there too. But they're going to call this one a no goal for now. Maybe subject to review.
Well, I think they might be looking at goalie interference. And it's a 2-on-2. There's the shot. There's the save. There's the contact with the goalie. And did that contact influence the puck going into the net? Yeah, you're going to say probably. I'm thinking it might have, yeah.
Well, here's another question. Did David Moss push it over the goal line with his glove?
Well, I can't see it from that look. You can see Barclay Goodrow with him there. But Moss looked like he hit the right pad of Niemi. Puck ended up going through Niemi's legs. Here's a good look from the prison net cam. There's the save. Well, that's right. You're right, though. Moss, he touched that puck. I'm not sure why you would put your glove on it right there when you're in the offensive zone. Doesn't really make any sense.
The play is under review.
And to no one's surprise, the play is under review.
So Todd McClellan selling his argument to the referee. And meanwhile, the officials are huddled in front of the scorer's table, and conferenced with the Situation Room in Toronto is tonight's video goal judge Larry Warner. Another look.
Well, Moss does a good job. A great pass, by the way, out in front of Moss. Barclay Goodrow. Goodrow kind of pushes Moss into Niemi a little bit. There's a good look. There's not a whole lot of contact. And then the question, I think it's coming down, Randy, did he have his glove on it? I don't know why he did that. He was kind of falling.
It was going to go in if he doesn't touch it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it looks to me like he makes contact with his glove before it fully crossed the goal line and then pushed it in, which would nullify the goal based on that act.
And get a look at both coaches as they wait from the Situation Room. NHL does everything in real time. That's a conversation at both benches.
Well, they're going to make sure they get this one right. Obviously, pretty critical from the Arizona standpoint to try and stop the bleeding here and get themselves back into this period. A period in which they've been pretty much dominated. Sharks out shooting them 6-1. And, of course, ahead on the scoreboard 2-0. Marleau has 2 assists. Couture has a goal and an assist. And Pavelski a little closer to getting to 40 goals, which is a goal for him. Now at 37.
He came into today tied in 5th in the NHL in goals.
Here's the announcement.
Tarasenko.
Video review confirms the glove was put in. The puck was put into the glove across the goal line. It's no goal.
So that's indeed the call. The puck gloved in by David Moss.
We'll throw that in the bucket of a mental error on David Moss's part. Now, I know he was kind of falling forward, stumbling forward, but you do everything to keep your glove away from the puck.
So it's still 2-0. And now Pavelski goes back to work, sends it into Arizona territory. The debut for the Sharks of Carl Stollery, wearing number 3. Has yet to score a goal in his brief NHL career.
Played 7 NHL games, all with the Avalanche.
Came over in the trade that sent Freddie Hamilton to the Avalanche at the deadline. Stollery went to college at Merrimack in Massachusetts. Signed an AHL deal with Lake Erie, Colorado's AHL franchise, and then an NHL contract with the Avs. A native of Camrose, Alberta. Couture for Marleau. And that's off his stick. Back to Fedun. And he cranked one just wide. Couture again. Hard pass broken up. And now Martin Erat for Arizona. Into Kyle Chipchura. Couture back defensively. Now Chipchura in the corner against Couture and Fedun. Couture sorting things out behind the net, using Fedun nicely. And it's played back up ice where Connor Murphy has it for Arizona.
Nice play there by Fedun, though. He knew he was going to get hit. Took the hit, made the play. Lofted that puck out of the zone and out of any trouble.
Mark Arcobello on the ice for Arizona, the former Edmonton Oiler. Now essentially centering their top line. Here's a steal, Ben Smith, and a juggling puck that Domingue got a piece of. Dillon's shot slowed down. Goodrow behind the net. Arizona trying to clear here. Brandon Gormley now in front of the net. Smith there. Dillon back deep. And Goodrow trying to make some room for himself, but he couldn't come up with the puck.
Good energy here by the 4th line for the San Jose Sharks. Smith, Goodrow, and Mike Brown. Great to see Mike Brown back in the lineup.
Tobias Rieder for Arizona to Mark Arcobello. Back to the point. A shot blocked before it got to Niemi. This is Tierney for Dillon. Back for Tierney and in. Louis Domingue getting back into his net, and he made a save there at Matt Nieto to keep it a 2-0 Sharks lead. Logan Couture and Joe Pavelski with goals here in the first period. Baker has our Lexus keys to the game.
Randy Hahn earlier said that this Coyotes team is 4-20-2 in their last 26 games. I'm thinking, go, attack them. And second key tonight, don't give them any hope at all. Great start so far. The Sharks scoring the first 2 goals. And when I say don't give them any hope, yes, it means tonight, but it also means there's a carryover to tomorrow night. A great start tonight could set this Sharks team up for the next 2 games against tonight's game and tomorrow night's game against the Coyotes.
As important a 24-hour plus stretch that the Sharks have had all year. Late in the season, this is game 78. 4 left after this. Tomorrow in the desert. Then Monday here against Dallas. And then the Sharks finish up next week, Thursday at Edmonton, Saturday afternoon at LA. Going to be a heck of a finish. Craig Cunningham for Arizona. And that's broken up and cleared back into the neutral zone by the Sharks. Until this evening, Arizona had a pretty good record of scoring first. They'd scored the first goal in 6 of their prior 7 games. But the Sharks have the first 2 here this evening. Time again, the former Shark. That's cleared out, and now Joe Thornton, he's got Melker Karlsson with him. Sends it to the trailer. Stollery shoots, and Domingue the save. As Carl Stollery bidding for his first NHL goal.
The vision of Joe Thornton. He's coming down the boards, stops up and sees the late guy coming in, Stollery. And what a pass, what vision. And a nice save by Domingue. I don't know if Stollery got everything he wanted on it. I think it might have got tipped by Karlsson there. But Joe Thornton showing his hockey sense and vision right there.
Fair to say that now in his 8th NHL game, Carl Stollery until tonight hasn't played with a center like Joe Thornton before.
Coming in, he was what, 8 feet outside of the blue line when Thornton made the saucer pass.
Colorado's had some Hall of Famers, but nobody that comes to mind as a center iceman playing for them right now. And Stollery enjoying the benefits of playing with Thornton on that play there. Well, place a deposit now on 2015-16 Sharks season tickets and do it by April 30th. And you'll be entered to win a VIP suite night for you and 12 of your friends. And if you can't make every game, check out the half season or the 10-game Shark packs that also include great benefits. For more information, go to sjsharks.com/deposits. There's a wayward Blackhawk fan in the crowd there. Oh, well, all are welcome under the tent here at SAP Center as the Sharks head down the stretch here, trying to find a way to get back into the playoff. 5 points behind LA going into tonight for the wild card. Pavelski and Ekman-Larsson picks it back up for Arizona. One of only 2 defensemen who leads his team in points, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who has 40 points. The other player who leads his team on the blue line is Erik Karlsson in Ottawa, as Melker Karlsson from San Jose. Last one over the net. Domingue knocked away from him by Hertl. Now Hertl battling in the corner with Michael Stone. A chance in front for Marleau. And Hertl spins away from traffic. Dumps it back for Couture, who's wrapped by Ekman-Larsson. Marleau out front. Hertl there, but so too was Sam Gagner to break it up.
A good low cycle by this line. I'm not sure if Hertl realized he had a nice passing lane back to Dillon. It might have allowed for a point shot if the forwards could have got in front of the net, but nonetheless, a good job down in the corners, winning battles, spinning off each other.
Brown trying to get one in, taken back by Arizona. And Reeder is offside, and we'll take a break. 8:45 left in the first. 2-0 Sharks. Longest tenure with their current teams. Mike Babcock of the Red Wings, followed by Claude Julien. Then it's Todd McLellan, third on that list. Dave Tippett of the Desert Dogs, fifth behind Joel Quenneville.
It's a nice list there. Some great coaches, good coaching minds. There's Dave Tippett.
Off the San Jose faceoff win. Matt Irwin wristing one in that Louis Domingue tried to slow down but could not. Now Couture working hard in the corner. hurdles. Unable to control it. And Shane Doan will fire it out to the wing. Arcobello there, but so is Taylor Fedun. Kept in by Doan up at the point for Arizona. A shot wide, and it comes off the backboards. Klaus Dahlbeck letting go with that one. The former Blackhawk. Now Reeder circles the net, wraps it around. Niemi looking for it. He stopped it. And Matt Irwin gets hold of it, clears it down, but it'll be icing against San Jose. And some cleanup needed on the ice. A couple of sticks out there as Antti Niemi back between the pipes. Alex Stalock got the last 3 starts for the San Jose Sharks. And you kind of sense, Jamie, that had Stalock been 100% healthy, he might have been back in there tonight, but he's got a bit of a cold or the flu as it's kind of run its way through the Sharks team since they came back from the road trip. That was a good chance by Reeder there.
A nice little wraparound opportunity from Reeder.
Here's Erat, and a shot punched wide by Sam Gagner. Now Fedun with it. Marleau looking to get it across center ice to get a line change, and he does. Back comes Sam Gagner, 13 goals, 38 points for the former Edmonton Oilers center. From the right point, John Moore, the former Blue Jacket, then New York Ranger. Here's Erat. His shot blocked by Dillon.
Well, that worked out for the Sharks. Gagner was wide open in the corner, in front of the net as Braun had fallen in the corner.
Moore can't keep it in. Now he has to get it across to Ekman Larsson with pressure from Wingels. Moore involved in the Keith Yandle trade. So Moore's been involved in some pretty big deals. The Rick Nash trade that sent Nash from Columbus to the Rangers and then on to Arizona now. As you see Chris Tierney, who joined us in our pregame, and Chris has been finding the net the last few games. 3 goals in his last 5, and that line all of a sudden, that third line with Nieto and Wingels and Tierney offering some production up on a nightly basis.
Well, you got the speed and grit on the wings and the hockey sense down the middle. Good chemistry with all 3 of them. Tierney, as he said, he's just feeling more comfortable at the NHL level, more confident with the puck.
Pavelski for Burns, and that didn't quite get to him. Cleared up the ice by Stollery to Melker Karlsson. Challenging Kyle Chipchura. Thornton behind the net. Chipchura's there too. And now Pavelski strips Ekman Larsson. And it's recovered by Arizona off the skate of Ty McGinn, the former Shark.
Well, our first look at Stollery. He's got some good footwork. Nice skater.
Here's Couture, or make it Goodrow. And that save as Barclay Goodrow gets a nice look. And now another. And Domingue makes a save there. The shots right now in favor of the Sharks. 12-2. 6 minutes left here in this opening period. And a shoot-in. Niemi back behind his net. Gets it away in time, but it's up off the screen and out of play. We'll be back at SAP Center.
Anybody who saw the Epics series with the LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks, Joe Pavelski had a motivational speech, you will say, after the first period. Then he followed up. They were trailing. He comes out, scores not 1, not 2, but 3 goals. That would be a hat trick. Yes, the third one was in the empty net, but words are one thing, actions are another, and that's the leadership of Joe Pavelski right there.
4 career hat tricks, tied with Marleau, behind Jonathan Cheechoo with 9. Of course, Cheechoo and Joe Thornton for a couple of years lit up the NHL, and Cheechoo won a Rocket Richard trophy, piled up a few hat tricks that year. I want to make a correction for something I said just a moment ago, that John Moore was part of the Rick Nash trade. He was not. He was part of the Marian Gaborik trade when Gaborik left the Rangers and went to Columbus, and then Moore on here to the Arizona Coyotes in the Keith Yandle trade. So I got that part of it right. They 50-50.
And big trades, though. Like, both are big trades.
Yeah, I don't think they call it the Moore trade. They call it the Gaborik trade. But he was involved in both. Shot here, double deflection. Niemi trying to find the net. He lost his footing, trying to adjust to the first deflection. And then there was a second on that shot from Gormley. And now Gormley back defending in the corner against Ben Smith, actually sitting on him, and I guess the puck's underneath the two of them somewhere there as it's blown down.
There haven't been many chances in front of Niemi tonight. And that last one, nice defensive play by Taylor Fedun. Came in and tied up one of the sticks of the forwards for the Coyotes. There's a shot. And there's going to be a rebound in front of it. You can see it go off one of the Coyotes players, and it's a loose puck. Watch Fedun, 43. He comes in and wins the battle. He gets body position on Cunningham and then takes off and gets that puck out of the zone. Good job by Taylor Fedun down low in front of the net.
Sharks have goals in this period from Logan Couture, 58 seconds in. And then the 37th of the year from Joe Pavelski. And that's who's responsible for this 2-0 lead. Here's a 2-on-1 now. And a shot by Tobias Rieder high. What a great look for Rieder. Marleau back the other way with Hertl. Domingue the save. Rebound, Couture to Marleau. Marleau skates out of trouble, but then his backhand pass for Hertl was intercepted.
The Sharks do not want to get in the habit of starting to trade chances. They want to play their game, their structured defensive game, and then ultimately capitalize on mistakes that the Coyotes make.
Well, the Sharks and SAP want to show their appreciation for their passionate and loyal fans. It's Fan Appreciation Night this coming Monday, April 6th. The Dallas Stars will be here. Every fan in attendance will receive a Patrick Marleau bobblehead. It'll look a lot like that, courtesy of SAP. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/San Jose Sharks.
Home game number 41 already. Where did this season go?
Tierney, a backhand pass blocked by Gagne. Now Ekman Larsson trouble. He finally knocks it out with his glove. David Moss, and that's blocked by Stollery. Moss has been scoring a bit lately for Arizona. Here come the Sharks. Nieto, the trailer, but Erat was on him. And now the play whistled down.
Yeah, high stick, I think, on Nieto. And Sharks had a 3-on-2. A little bit too much east-west. Got to take it north. Tommy Wingels made the pass.
Penalty, to number 83. It's 2 minutes for high sticking.
As they entered the zone, and then Nieto ended up getting caught with a inadvertent high stick. So there's Nieto. You can see him to the right of your screen. He's just trying to slide by the D. At two hands on your stick. There it is right here. You're going to get a better look at it. Inadvertent, non-intentional, but a high stick nonetheless. We see the Coyotes power play for the first time this evening.
This is one of the areas they can hurt you. 30% of their goals all year have come on the power play. The only team with a higher percentage of goals on the power play, and it's just a slight bit more, is Detroit. So when Arizona does score, one out of 3 times, it comes with the man advantage.
Slowed down a little bit since the All-Star break, and that's because there's no Keith Yandel. That Ekman Larsson Yandel tag team from a defensive standpoint caused havoc.
Ekman Larsson holding it in. Marleau quick to him, gets it away. Tobias Rieder. Ekman Larsson plays it to the net wide, looking for the tip in front from Domes. Now Moore to Gagne. Back for Ekman Larsson. Shot, and Niemi got his blocker out on that. Gagne back for Moore. Takes a shot. High, looking for Doan out front again. Now Dillon ties up Doan. Dillon stick breaks, but perfect timing. The puck comes to Marleau, and he's able to clear so that Dillon is invulnerable back there without a stick. So far, so good.
Yeah, no, so far, so good. No surprise, Captain Shane Doan. He's going to park himself in front of the net as much as he can on the power play.
Erat, Arcabello, Michael Stone, and now Ekman Larsson.
Stone had more of a lane, but maybe got a shot there, but he's pulled up.
Here's Erat. Took too much time. Puck cleared away by Burns.
That's kind of been the story of this power play for the Coyotes. Taking a little bit too much time. Not moving the puck quick enough. Not getting pucks to the net quick enough. Allowing the Sharks PK to get set. Get their sticks and bodies in the lanes.
They don't have a shot on this power play yet. David Moss now. Ekman Larsson, he's been on for the whole power play so far. Stone. Shot high by Erat. And Nieto's out. And the puck skips over his stick. Domingue has to come out to handle it. If Nieto settles that, he has a major breakaway. Like no one would catch him until tomorrow. So without getting a shot on goal on that power play, shot still 14-2 in favor of the Sharks. There's one coming off the wing from Jordan Schwartz, and Niemi with the save.
Well, here's Schwartz. It's a right-handed shot coming down the off wing. Just a bad angle backhand shot. Good job by Irwin there. Look, you can see Irwin body on body, stick on stick. That is well played. Nice footwork from Irwin. Yeah, that's a relatively easy save for Niemi. He corrals the rebound. See Irwin in that situation. Gave him the perimeter. He knew he was on his back, and he didn't give him a lane to the net. Didn't allow him to get to behind the net where other players could come in. Just kind of forced that bad angle shot. Good defensive play.
Fedun gets center, sends it in. Goodrow. Thornton around for Pavelski. And now Taylor Fedun. Far side to Thornton. Trying to jam a pass in front that's denied.
That's where Thornton is a pass-first player, and in that situation, I think he's got to shoot first. He had the puck. Even if he doesn't score, it might create a rebound.
Irwin shoots. Domingue will stop it and hang on for a face-off. Just over 41 seconds left in the period.
Mr. Pavelski now tied for 4th overall in the NHL scoring tonight. Tied with Pacioretty from Montreal. As he closes in on goal number 40. There he is with 37 goals. Oh, nice play over on the boards there. He had 2 guys on him. He just chipped the puck over one guy to the point and led to the pass to Thornton.
Nieto, hard pass for Tierney, took it off his skate. Gets it out to Nieto, and he hits the post.
Oh, that was a nifty play by Tierney down in the corner.
Wingles trying to finesse it back to the blue line. Here's Nieto again, out of the corner. Off Wingles' skate. Dillon loads up, and a save by Domingue. Braun around for Nieto. He's bumped by Moore. And now a race to it on the far side, and Justin Braun there showing his footwork against Craig Cunningham. Beat him to it. Wingles lost it, and a save by Niemi at the horn to bring us to the end of the first period. Well, Louis Domingue saw 16 shots. The Sharks put 2 of them by him from Couture and Pavelski. And at the end of one, it is the San Jose Sharks 2 and the Desert Dogs nothing. Coming up on the Ram Intermission Report, we'll check in with Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown in our studios. And then Jamie Baker back here at SAP Center to talk to Joe Pavelski. Back to SAP Center here in San Jose. It's about ready to start the second period. Sharks with a 2-goal cushion over the Arizona Coyotes. The young man enjoying a little snack here before we drop.
Oh, he's sharing his chair. Look at that. That's
Very
awesome.
Nice.
Well, that's what we do here at SAP Center. We share.
Might only be at 1 kernel, but it's love. There's more.
At kernel at a time.
Glad you're along with us on this Friday night as the Sharks have one more home game in this regular season to go after tonight. That'll be Monday night. There is former Shark Time again, who was traded to Arizona at the deadline, and that leads us to our El Camino Hospital. Focus on winning. Flashback to earlier this season. Sharks in Edmonton. Patrick Marleau right here, and what a feed to time again.
Oh, she's a beauty. That was his only goal with the San Jose Sharks. And if you're going to score one, make sure it's a highlight reel one. And what a pass from Marleau. The old look over the right shoulder, then the no-look backhand pass. Spinning to his left, right on McGinn's stick. There he is.
He's got a goal and an assist in 14 games with the Desert Dogs heading into tonight. Good to see Ginner. We had another former Shark, Freddie Hamilton, here on Wednesday night. And these 2 young men continue their NHL careers here in the Western Conference elsewhere.
Talked to him again this morning. Said it's been a challenge there because of obviously the record, but he also understands the importance of this opportunity for him, along with many other young players on this Coyotes team.
Arizona's record 23, 46, and 8. They're actually better on the road this year than at home. 13, 22, and 3 on the road. And a whistle here as Ekman Larsson has the puck tied up in the corner, or maybe his stick's caught in the boards. I think that's what it was. He couldn't get it loose. As Dave Tippett looks on, a challenge for everybody in the Arizona organization here as they look ahead to the draft, and they will have pretty decent odds in the lottery for that #1 overall pick. And as we mentioned, we'll be at Gila River Arena tomorrow night as these two teams finish this home and home.
Well, I talked to Dave Tippett this morning, and he was challenging his young team. Well, not everybody's young, but he was looking at this 2-game set as basically as close to a playoff situation as that they're going to have. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. They know the desperation the Sharks are in. That's one of the reasons they played Domingue tonight, and they'll probably go back with Smith tomorrow. They wanted them to come into this hostile environment against a desperate hockey team. A lot of evaluation going on in the Coyotes.
Shot from the blue line, knocked down by Niemi. Now McGinn with the puck, wearing number 20 for Arizona. Out to the wing, a shot partially blocked, and Niemi has to clean it up as it came off Tierney's stick, and now the Sharks will keep it moving.
You look at Randy, I think that next goal is crucial. If Coyotes get it, then they get a little bit of belief in their game. Sharks get it, and you got a team that has not been winning very many hockey games, and they become even more demoralized.
Well, Los Angeles last night against the Edmonton Oilers, case in point.
I was watching that. You know, it was 3-1, and for the Kings, Edmonton hits the crossbar. LA comes down and scores 30 seconds later, makes it 4-1, and it was basically game over from there.
And the Kings went on to win 8-2.
Boy, Edmonton was struggling in the nets last night. Both goaltenders let in some soft ones.
Sharks will be in Edmonton next Thursday. Here's Couture with Marleau. Shot saved by Domingue. Logan Couture feeling it tonight. He's getting chances. Has one goal. Here's a chance back the other way, and Schwartz shot is blocked. Or was that Gormley? Gormley, in fact, had it denied as he drifts back into his own zone. Brandon Gormley on the wing at Shane Doan. Far side and back to Doan. Pulls the trigger, but he kind of healed it. Pavelski was there, and Niemi's able to make the save.
I believe you just said that Logan Couture was kind of feeling it tonight. And look at him come down low, support the puck, and then he picks it up. He's off to the races down. He not a 2-on-1, but pulls the puck in just a little bit. Keep an eye on where his stick is. He pulls it and then tries to go far side. And it worked in the first period. It didn't fool Domingue on that one.
Louis Domingue facing the Sharks for the first time in his career. Got his first NHL win at Montreal. A 3-2 victory by Arizona over the Canadiens.
Well, that was huge from him. He grew up in Mont-Saint-Hilaire, Quebec, just a suburb of
Marc Arcabello, and they score. In off a Shark stick, I believe. Tobias Reeder was there, but I'm not sure he ever touched that. And it's 2-1.
Well, that's the third odd man rush the Sharks have given up this period. And let's see if that, nope, you're right, Randy. That goes off of the Sharks defenseman. Is that Burns in front of the net?
Yep.
That's Burns. That's an own goal. Now, if Burns doesn't get his stick on it, I'm going to have to say that Reeder's going to actually tap that home. But nonetheless, there's that goal. There's that hope that this Coyotes team was looking for. I think Dave Tippett, after his team trailing 2-0, getting outshot 16-3, probably had a little motivational talk with his team because he was challenging them this morning. They didn't play very well. They've come out much better jump here in the second.
Badoon goes back as the Sharks have trouble coming out of their end. Brown. And now Brown taps it into the Arizona end of the ice. An unassisted goal for Marc Arcabello. His 16th at .234.
Third NHLer to play on 4 different teams in one season. Started the year in Edmonton, a couple games in Nashville, Pittsburgh, and now he's with obviously Arizona.
Hopefully his furniture catches up to him before the season ends. Crombie now for Arizona. They've cut the Sharks lead in half on that goal off Burns stick by Arcobello. They're offside here.
Stop by the Bay Area Newsroom table.
Joe Pavelski talked about it at the interview. We got to keep going after these guys and not give up anything. In San Jose right now, they can't change how they've started this second, what they've already done, but they can sure tighten things up, especially in the neutral zone. They don't want to turn this into a track game.
Brendan Dillon slides it over to Justin Braun, and that ends up on the stick of Domingue. Here's a chance for Wingles. Lost his balance against Gormley. Now a shot from the right point by Braun goes just high. Dillon back deep. Behind the net, Nieto tried to slow it down, could not. McGinn there for Arizona. And here's Kyle Chipchura. They'll put on the brakes. Drop it back. And a save by Niemi. Rebound popped out of there by Nieto. So no question about it, the Desert Dogs coming back with a much better effort here in the second. It's Arcobello again. And Gagne had Doan alone in front. He couldn't steer it home. Hurdle up the boards for Nieto. Nieto a little late getting to that, but now he works it free. As it's handled by Dahlbeck for Arizona. Wiener or Murphy. Good hands by Burns. He'll look up and turned it over. Doan still with it on the near boards. He gives it up to Couture.
I like that play by Stollery over on Doan. Stick on stick, finished his check.
Stollery knocked down by Doan, and now Pavelski. Thornton can't settle it. The play a little scrambly here. Stone to Ekman-Larsson. Now dropped by Erat for Moss. Moss will swing it up the boards. Erat back across. And the shot. Michael Stone puts it on net. It's out of play. Well, your final chance to win a special Collector's Edition Sharks poster this season is tomorrow. Saturday night on ice, live from Glendale, Arizona. Sharks pregame live starts at 5:30 tomorrow evening, and then we'll reveal the website to win your poster during the show. Sharks and Arizona will both fly back east to the desert right after this game tonight. Not too tough a back-to-back. It's about a 1.5 hour journey. Matt Irwin puts it in. Murphy back there, pressured by Goodrow. Now Goodrow knocks Murphy down, trying to make a play from behind the net. He hands it off to Brown. Vitale will send it up ice to Cunningham. Craig Cunningham after it at the boards. He's rocked by Irwin. But Arizona still on the puck. Vitale trying to find it. And it's cleared out by Goodrow as Domingue slides it across for John Moore. Braun without his usual defense partner, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, injured on the road trip in Philadelphia, missing his 3rd straight game, and he will not travel with the team tonight. So Braun's already, or Vlasic's already been ruled out for tomorrow. Chipchura's shot, and Niemi's got the post covered. Now McGinn trying to find some room back there. Braun sends it up the boards, but not out. Schwartz ties up with Dillon. McGinn after the loose puck. Given a shove there by Braun, and that allows the Sharks to get to it. Here's a pass to Tierney. 2-on-1 with Wingles. Wingles! And he didn't get good wood on it. Just misfired. Now Now back in off Hurdle's stick. He'll look over the shoulder. Couture trailing. He's got it. Across, and Marleau fans. Back to Burns. His shot saved by Domingue. Couture back to Burns again. Fires wide. Two great scoring chances for the Sharks.
Yeah, Wingels and Marleau both fanning on it. One on the left side, one on the right side. Both in one-timer situations.
Burns quickly behind his net. Works it up the boards for Hurdle. But Ekman-Larsson picks it off. To Gagne behind the San Jose net. His backhander saved by Niemi. Big pad save there for Antti Niemi. 3-on-2. Couture with Marleau and Hurdle. But they can't connect on the first pass. Now Couture to Hurdle, to Irwin, to Fedun. Back to Couture. Logan shoots. And Domingue with the glove save. Couture beat him earlier, but not that time. Sharks lead it 2-1.
On a 2-on-1 with Tommy Wingels, you can see him. He's looking at the net, getting the goalie to come over that side. And then when he does his saucer pass, the puck is in the middle of his blade. Should have been a little bit more from the heel. And because of that, he didn't get the spin on it, and the puck was bobbling. And that's why Wingels didn't get everything. Meanwhile, Logan Couture finds a soft spot. He gets his hips turned, goes short side, tries to go top corner. Domingue with a good glove save. Two good chances for the Sharks. Here's Tommy Wingels. And Logan Couture's had probably the best amount of chances here tonight. Continues his stellar play. He's also scored the first goal of the game.
Off the face-off, it's Connor Murphy for Arizona. Over to the far side, Tobias Rieder from Germany. And that's up on the benches in your neck of the woods, Jamie Baker, as we look at the captain of the Coyotes, Shane Doan, original member of this franchise, back to the old Winnipeg Jets days, playing in his 1,391st game for this franchise.
It's 36th all-time in the history of this league for most games. Second among all active players in the NHL behind Jaromir Jagr, who's played 1,545 games.
Dylan, and that's wide. This is Doan's 101st game against the Sharks. That's just regular season. A couple of playoff games as well as the Sharks met the Coyotes in a series back in the day.
I remember that. Living in Arizona at the time.
Thornton wants Pavelski off his stick. Ekman-Larsson there. Checked by Melker Karlsson for the Sharks.
Boy, Melker Karlsson hunts down those pucks quickly.
Back out through center. Braun will chase it down. Niemi's going to help him out. And the crowd cheering the Sharks on here in the second period. 11:08 to go. It's a 2-1 game. Early on, it looked like the Sharks were going to run away with this thing. They scored in the first minute. 2-0 after 5 minutes, and they were all over Arizona on the shot counter. And Arizona coming back with a better effort here in the second, and they cut the lead in half.
Put the work boots and hard hats on here in the second. Rightfully so. This is an addition for all of them.
A shot, and Stollery has it deflect off a stick and out of play. Well, speaking of the captain of Arizona, Shane Doan, goals in 19 or more consecutive seasons with one franchise. It's not a very long list. That is longevity with the same organization. Mike Modano did it with Minnesota, which became Dallas, and Sakic, your old teammate, with Quebec that became Colorado.
That's loyalty to an organization. He's missed the playoffs a lot, even this year. I talked to him this morning, and he said definitely frustrated. He loves being in Arizona. He's got 4 kids there. Didn't ask for a trade at the trade deadline. He was obviously disappointed when a few of the guys were traded, but he's a lifer.
And it's loyalty by the organization to the player.
Absolutely.
They didn't ask him to go anywhere either. No. Here's Tierney. Back around for Nieto. He's cut off on his way to the puck by Moore, but Wingels has it. Now to Tierney, and a great chance, and then another chance for Nieto, and he just hit the outside of the net.
Yeah, this line is buzzing in the offensive zone.
Wingels lets one rip. Chip Chura now at center with Schwartz, and he'll just lay it into the corner. Arizona going for a change here as the Sharks have ramped it up here the last shift or two. Long pass by Burns in for Hurdle, and Domingue will swing it around to this side for Mars. His pass broken up. Ekman Larsson. And now the Sharks come back in. It's Couture. He's checked from the backside by Gagne. Martin Erat down the wing. To the net. Niemi stick save. Moss. Watched by Fedun. From the point, it's Stone, and that hit a body. Matt Irwin. And now up the boards, Marleau. And he will get it out. Couture now with a break down the left side. He's got Fedun with him. He shoots. Domingue the save. Drops it and covered. And Logan Couture keeps putting on the pressure.
It's time now for the
We'll be right back.
Well, Matty Irwin does a good job. That's Matty Irwin right there. And Logan Couture right here. He's going to come all the way out, support, and then ultimately head all the way up. Let's watch this play. Irwin reads the play down low, gets his head up. You can tell Couture was communicating. Marleau ends up getting the puck on a second effort out into the neutral zone. There's Couture, and off he goes. It's a 2-on-2. He's going to little pull, drag, shot. Nice save, but good execution. All starts in the defensive zone right here. There's the communication, little chip pass. Marleau not once, but twice gets it out. Another chip pass, off we go. Good defense leads to scoring chances 200 feet away.
Couture with 4 shots in the game. Every shot he's attempted has ended up on the net, and one of them in the net.
He's gone high all 4. You know, you score high on the first one, it's just as a player, you just kind of keep going back there. You might want to try and maybe that pull drag, maybe go 5-hole, see if he can get Domingue moving laterally and beat him between the pads.
Domingue checks in at 6'3", 210. 23 years of age, a 5th-round draft pick of Arizona back in 2010. As you said earlier, a native of Quebec, so to win his first game in Montreal had to be something special for him. Matt Irwin now to Thornton. Fedun off the boards. Back to Thornton. And now to Pavelski. Taken down, but Thornton's there to follow. Tried to leave it in the corner for Pavelski, broken up by the talent. Now Pavelski gets it back from Thornton. Puck stays on the blue line. Fedun punching it toward the net, and it didn't get through.
Trying to get back on the points parade. Got 6 games without a point.
His last night with a point was when he had his 900th assist in Toronto, I believe. Tierney. And Ekman Larsson gives it away. Wingles to Nieto. Nieto off the boards, back for Wingles. Wingles to the net. Kicked out by Domingue. And then a wrister by Dillon, and then a follow by Nieto. Nieto off the glove of Tierney. And Murphy turns, gets it in the corner for Arizona, and gets it out off the corner glass, and now out of play into the penalty box.
Another solid shift for the Sharks' third line. They're just reading and reacting on the forecheck. All 3 guys. Nieto using his speed. Tommy Wingles, of course, you know what he's going to do. He's a north-south player, finishes his check. 253 hits coming in tonight for 7th in the NHL.
This is one of those points in the game, Jamie, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, but the Sharks just need to stick with it here. They've got their mojo back after maybe losing it a bit in the beginning of the period. They're getting chances, not scoring, but got to just keep doing the same things.
And it starts, and you're right, you're absolutely right, first of all, but they're not trading chances.
Domingue thought about jumping out after that. Moore clears it over to Moss. And now Stollery gets across. Over to Hurdle and back in, and Marleau has a jump on the defender. Drops for Couture. Logan to Burns, and he rips one high. Hurdle trying to hold it in the zone. Gets it back toward Marleau, but it took an Arizona bounce to Erat. With Moss and Gagne. Gagne skates in and hits the goal post. And now Burns back with it safely for the Sharks. And he'll flip it up through the middle of the zone all the way back to the goaltender. And the Sharks get fortunate there on the shot off the goal post. It's going to be icing against Arizona.
Well, the Sharks give up a 3-on-2 against. Nice little pass here. I'm looking at the Sharks forwards. They got to back check harder than that. Burns does a good job of sliding, taking away the pass. Good job by Burns. Forces Gagne into a shot mode. And Niemi gets a little bit of help from the crossbar.
Sam Gagne watching the replay here in the building. Mark Arcobello has the Arizona goal. Sharks win it off the face-off. Thornton back to Fedun. His shot blocked, and now Fedun has to hustle back. And he beats time again to the puck. Niemi will place it back in the corner for Fedun. He quickly places it all the way to the other side for Thornton. Ahead now for Carlson. And ranging back defensively was Dahlbeck for Arizona.
I was going to say we saw Fedun go down very much like Burns last game, taking away a 3-on-1 opportunity for the Avalanche. I like the way he's played. It's only his third game. Showing some confidence and poise out there.
Thornton. That's a little behind Carlson.
Exploded off his stick.
Back to Thornton from Pavelski. And now Braun. Gets it away to Dillon. He'll take a wrist shot just wide. Braun will step into one, and that's blocked by Arcobello. Good back check by Mike Brown to get it back into Arizona territory. Arcobello for the Desert Dogs, and he sends it in. From the point, off the back boards and the back of the net. Doan in there, taking a run at Dillon. Now Braun trying to get to it. Arcobello with it. He'll fire it high and wide. Gormley for Doan. He falls. And checked by Braun. Puck dug out by Ben Smith for the Sharks. 2-1, under 5 to go here in the second. Nice pass. And Goodrow's shot deflects off Moore's stick and out of play. We'll take a break. Well, now we'll stay and watch this. Why not? Moore and Barclay Goodrow. This would be Goodrow's first NHL fight.
Well, he got in a fight. He's had a pro fight when he went down to Worcester over the All-Star break.
And he's his first one in the NHL right now, and they go down. So some frustrations come to the surface here. We'll step aside. Sharks lead at 2-1. Time for Geico. This date in hockey history on April 3rd of 1999. Vincent Damphousse recorded the 12th and final hat trick of his NHL career. He also had an assist. The Sharks beat Vancouver that night 5-2. It turned out to be Vinny's only hat trick with the San Jose Sharks.
Vinny Damphousse now living in Montreal.
And working on the Montreal Canadiens broadcasts from time to time.
Well, he was a good player. Good hands, eh? Great vision.
When he was traded to the Sharks, he was traded at the time as the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Talk about a change in culture, a change in lifestyle. You're the captain of arguably the most popular hockey team on the planet, and you come to the Bay Area where the game back in those days was still in relatively the early growth stage. It was a culture shock, that's for sure, for Vinny, but he enjoyed his time here immensely. 4:22 to go here in the second period as the Sharks try and get their 2-goal lead back that they enjoyed through the first period on goals by Couture and that man, Joe Pavelski, who now has 37 goals on the year. Last year he had 41. He's still got a shot at getting to 40, if not to 41.
Absolutely.
Louis Domingue seeing the San Jose Sharks for the first time, and they him. Had a rocky start to this game, but he settled in nicely.
There he is.
Murphy behind the net to Shane Doan with Mark Arcobello. Dillon playing against Doan and does a nice job with him there. Couture back across the line. Tomas Hertl will get to this. Tried to backhand pass it to Marleau, but it's broken up. Connor Murphy. And Couture again, and he's got a wide open Tommy Wingle. Shoots! Domingue, the glove save.
The Sharks keep going to the glove, and Domingue, as you just alluded to, has settled in. He's making the saves. Good size goalie. There's a shot from Wingels. You can see the defenseman there. He's going to give up that shot. He's like, there's no screen, there's no traffic in front. He just didn't want to get beat in that situation, so he positioned his hips and stick accordingly.
Fedun up to center. It's Matt Nieto with speed. Nieto takes the shot, and Domingue makes the save as Nieto and Michael Stone go crashing into the corner boards, and they look like they're all right. What an effort by Nieto to get this shot away.
He tried the same thing last game. I call it the Forsberg play. You put the puck underneath the other player's stick, and then you try and establish body position. And the players on the Sharks, it doesn't look like Stone did that intentionally, but Dylan Burns immediately stood up, took exception to it. Looked a little different real-time full speed than we saw it there in slow motion. I don't think that was an intentional play by Stone taking out the feet of Nieto, but a dangerous play. You go into the boards awkwardly like that.
Irwin turns back with Fedun. Puck bouncing around behind the net, and Taylor Fedun comes out with it. Off of Chip Chura's skate, then it hits Jay Sherrers, the linesman, in the chest. Bouncing all over the place. Finally, Niemi catches it and says, you know what, I'm going to slow things down here. And as he does that, I want to remind you the American Hockey League is coming to San Jose next season, 2015-2016. Introducing the San Jose Barracuda, presented by Barracuda Networks. Be one of the first to see the future of the San Jose Sharks. For as low as $12 per game, you can become a charter season ticket holder. Visit sjbarracuda.com for more details. We're going to talk more about the San Jose Barracuda coming up in our second intermission.
There'll be a lot of hockey played here at SAP Center next year. The Sharks, the big team, and the Barracuda, the Sharks prospects. I think they've won 6 straight. 2 huge games against Springfield, and they're sitting in a playoff position right now.
Yeah, they won again tonight. They've been hot. 7 in a row.
7 in a row. Yep, good. Awesome stuff.
There's a shot and blocked before it got to Niemi. Erat for Gagne. Sam Gagne fans. And Burns gets it out, and he's got help. With Melker Karlsson. Burns for Thornton. Back in front for Pavelski, and it's checked off his stick. Still a great effort by the Sharks there on that odd man rush.
Well, great efforts. I love the passing and all that, but the NHL is about getting shots to the net, and I think Thornton or Burns has to release it in that situation.
Ben Smith trying to get to the net against Murphy. Back to Dillon. And now Braun. Plays this one off the boards. And Dahlbeck for Arizona. Back out to center ice. Under 2 to go here in the second. Cunningham. Braun racing back to try and hold the zone, but it comes out. And now it's Crumbine for the Desert Dogs. Slowed down on the board. Nieto on this side. He'll find the open man, Brown. Brown sends it into the corner as Nieto took a big hit from Cunningham behind the play, but he's back up. Nieto's been in the middle of it here his last 2 shifts. Domingue going to shovel this off to the side for Ekman-Larsson. Joe Vitale wants Reeder. Tobias Reeder with it, working against Fedun.
Promising. He's one of the top young players they're looking for in the future here. From Germany, 22 years old. Got real good speed, very structured player.
Doan trying to get it out front. Takes the shot, and Niemi reaches back on a puck that surely would have gone in. What a save by Antti Niemi.
Well, just a low cycle from the Coyotes. And Niemi says, don't call me Shirley. There's the deflection. Watch him just reach back as it was heading in, just snags it. And there's Doan. Looks off and then throws it right through the crease area. And there's the deflection by Reeder. We were just talking about that. And Niemi caught that. There's a good look. Oh, yeah, that was going right in. Badun was there. He wasn't going to be able to get his stick on it.
That's our save of the game, brought to you by RGP Consulting from the inside out. Niemi working that glove hand from the inside out.
I was just going to say that.
That puck could have been inside, but it was out. Here's one by Tierney that's blocked.
Oh, what a pass from Nieto down below.
And Doan now back the other way. Nice play by the rookie Stollery there. And Tierney makes some ice for himself. Chris Tierney denied by Ekman-Larsson. And the puck out of play with just under 10 seconds to go.
Oh, what an opportunity for Tierney. Got 3 goals, 2 assists in his last 5 games. Takes a nifty little pass from Nieto, and that line continues to impress when they're in the offensive zone. And I love his hockey sense. I've said it before. It's going to be fun to watch him over the years as he gets stronger, becomes a better skater. He's got the hockey sense and the vision.
Here's one last chance for Braun, but he can't get to it as he's met by time again. And that brings us to the end of the second period. Just the 1 goal by Arcobello. And Domingue shuts the Sharks down in the second. That's the end of 2 here at SAP Center. Sharks lead Arizona 2-1. Coming up, we'll check in with Brody and Curtis in the Sportsnet Central studio. And we'll also be joined by the assistant general manager of the Sharks, the new AHL team, the Barracuda.
Assistant coach Larry Robinson after 2 periods. What do you like so far from the team?
No, I like the way we're moving the puck. I think right now we're just overpassing it. We come right out right away. Cooch gets it. It's on his stick and off his stick and in the net. And now we're just getting a little too cute. We're getting a ton of chances, but we're also giving up some grade A chances as well.
So what do you, from an adjustment standpoint, especially giving up chances, you don't want to get into a track meet. What do you change here in the third?
Well, you just start getting pucks to the net. You know, like we were early. You know, the puck's going to go in. You're going to get some chances, but just get the guy stopping. At least if you shoot and you have rebounds, you have a chance to get a couple more goals too.
All right, good luck in the third.
You're welcome.
Well, the Sharks have been a very good hockey team this year when they've had a lead going into the third period. A record of 27-4-3, and you see there that the Desert Dogs' goal differential in the third period is the worst in the NHL. So the stars are aligned for the Sharks here. They just have to execute right now and have a strong third period. Logan Couture's had a strong first 2 periods. He has the goal for his 27th of the year. He has an assist on the other goal by Pavelski, and he has 5 shots on goal. He's a +2 in 11 minutes of ice time. Set for the third period face-off here at SAP Center. We're glad you're along on this Friday night on Comcast Sportsnet California. The first of back-to-back home and away between these teams, and we'll be on the air again tomorrow evening, 5:30 pregame live from Glendale in the second matchup of this home and away and the final meeting of the regular season between these 2 teams. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with the puck for Arizona. Down for Kyle Chipchura. Out of the corner and behind the net, wraps it around off the skate of Taylor Fedun to Tommy Wingels. And he'll get it ahead. Other than the fight between Goodrow and Moore, there have been only 2 minor penalties in this game. So it has not been a night of special teams matchups at all. Domingue just gets it away from Hurdle, and now Moore, but it's taken back by Brendan Dillon, who I thought Jamie Dillon had one of his best games of the season here Wednesday against Colorado. And apparently Jamie doesn't agree. Here's Gagne. And over to Martin Erat for Arizona.
I apologize there, Randy. My mic wasn't on.
No, that'll do it.
I was talking, but no one could hear, which actually isn't probably the worst thing in the world.
I just thought you wanted a quiet moment.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Doan. And now Joe Thornton, a short give for Carlson. Up for Hurdle. He'll spot Dillon. And turning back on it for Arizona is Klaus Dahlbeck.
getting back to, this will be the second time I've answered, the first time you'll hear it. I agree, Dylan played great last game. Scotty Hannon before he got injured. They were up the ice all night long.
And just an update. Hannon took the morning skate today. There's Burns with a shot, and Domingue got his pad on it as it deflected. Thornton now in for Pavelski, turns, shoots, and Domingue the save as Thornton is tackled behind the net by Klaus Dahlbeck. No call, with the referee watching it all.
And there could have been an interference penalty on Melker Karlsson too.
Here's Marleau for Smith, who tried to cut through the D. Fadoon. Moving to it is Ben Smith. Out there with Brown and Marleau right now. Smith to Brown to Marleau. The shot saved by Domingue.
Marleau getting a shift on the fourth line because Goodrow's in the penalty box. Still serving some of the time for his fight.
This is Nieto. And Tierney's shot is blocked by Murphy, out of play.
Well, bodies were flying, and Thornton with a nice little pass. Pavelski tries to get it off his skate. Ends up getting, he turns around, gets a little spinorama chance. And that's a great save by Domingue. And if you look behind the net, there's bodies flying. Thornton gets tackled by Dahlbeck. That's Murphy taking down Karlsson. No penalties. Dahlbeck was picked up in the trade when Antoine Vermette went to Chicago. Dahlbeck, real solid stay-at-home defenseman, and I think they're really looking forward to him to develop into a good puck-moving defenseman. He's part of the future here in Arizona. And lots of potential.
When you trade there's a puck that hit Tommy Wingels up high. Hopefully it got his shield, not to the face. And I think it did. He's going to stay on. That thing just ramped up and came up high.
Shaken but not stirred. He's staying out there.
As opposed to Hannon, who did get it near the eye.
Well, above and below it.
Yeah. Hit him flat. Braun. And that one was blocked by Gormley. And just to finish, Scott Hannon possibly could have been available today. Todd McClellan electing to go with the rookie Stollery. We'll see if Hannon makes the trip to Arizona. Here's a puck to the wide open net. Nobody there in Teal to knock it home.
Yeah, it was a scary moment. It was right around the eye as we expected, but no concussion symptoms.
Burns a shot, and Domingue got a piece of it. Now Burns behind the goal line, trying to get it out of the feet of the referee. Burns still keeps his feet moving with Hertl. Tomas Hertl up high to Marleau. Marleau across. Stollery the shot, a blocker saved by Domingue. And Cunningham will skate it up to center and get it deep for a line change.
Well, that just all started with Burns down low, pinching in offensively. He's just so hard to handle. He's so big and strong.
Hertl gives it away in front, and Erat missed. Gagne back to Martin Erat. Here's a chance and a save by Niemi on a hard shot by Dahlbeck. Karlsson with Thornton. Joe Thornton out of the corner, rims it around hard for Pavelski. And taken back by Arizona's Jordan Schwartz behind the net. Pavelski and Thornton. Fadoon. Thornton. Across the one-timer, deflects wide as Pavelski got all of it, but it didn't get directly to the goal. And now Pavelski back to Thornton. A no-look pass right to Irwin, and he fans. Goodrow out of the box now after serving his fighting major. And the Desert Dogs finally get it out with some control. Chip Chura over the line, and a shot deflecting up into the screen and out of play.
There's Tommy Wingels, deflects the puck, and you can see it come right up into his visor. And that's why you wear it right there. He's taking a look at his helmet. A little bit of a interesting look. Oh, he's checking to see if it's cracked. It looks like he's looking to see if his helmet's cracked. On it goes. That's why some players wear visors right there. I'd say I was ever a fan of them.
They're mandatory now for players that aren't grandfathered in. If you're a rookie in the NHL, you have to wear a visor. Brown's shot hit the outside of the net. We played almost 6 minutes in this third period. Both Sharks goals came in the first 5 minutes of the first period. Ben Smith weaving his way around behind the goal. Out to Dillon. He fires one off the goal post behind Ming. Domingue had to check behind him. He heard it. Just wanted to make sure that didn't go off him and back in. Louis Domingue caught a break there. Another shot, and that time saved by Niemi. Pulling the trigger was Dahlbeck, who all of a sudden has come alive here in the third period. He's getting chances. Shots are 30-11 for San Jose. Tierney steps up to Wingels. And he can't get a good shot away. Domingue got a piece of that. Back comes Arizona. Arcobello with Doan. Reeder dumps it for Doan, but Burns is there. Doan can't get to it, but Arcobello will. Back for Doan. In front, nobody there. Ekman-Larsson with it. Tries to get around Wingels. And Tommy Wingels wins the battle against Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Burns with some ice in the middle of a line change. He'll rim it around to Logan Couture on the far side. Burns behind the net, eliminated by Stone. Now Cunningham. And back again to Michael Stone.
Good shift for Burns. Made some nice plays down low. He was battling with Shane Doan, which isn't an easy task, and then joined the rush.
And that one's off Crombean's stick and out of play. We'll step aside. 12:10 left in the third. 2-1 Sharks. We referenced the injury to Scott Hannon here on Wednesday night against Colorado. Here's what happened.
First he scored a goal. Yeah, that was a beauty. Brent Burns with a perfect shot pass, if you will. And Burns releases the puck, and it caught Hannon. You could see him right away. He headed off the ice, and it wasn't flat. It was both the ridges of the puck. One caught him right above the eye, one right below it. He had two cuts, saw him after. And his eye was open today, and he wants to play.
I'll tell you, he was on fire before he got hurt. That arguably was one of his most complete performances this season for Scott Hannon until he had to leave the game. Of course, on the receiving end from Brent Burns twice, unfortunately.
Fortunately, unfortunately.
Carlson for the Sharks. Domingue a stick save, and that'll ramp up and out of play with 11:43 left. Well, these are an important dozen minutes down the stretch here for the San Jose Sharks, Jamie, with only a 1-goal lead.
We can talk about the shot totals, which are obviously in favor of San Jose, 31-12 right now, but the bottom line is the score. It's only 2-1, 1-goal game. So Arizona, to their credit, they've hung in there. To Domingue's credit, I think the first one he'd love to have back. There was nothing he could do on the Pavelski goal. He's been steady throughout, and he's gotten some good support in front of him. The Sharks have not had a lot of second and third opportunities.
Not suggesting I'm going to make Dave Tippett's mind up for him, but there's a good chance we'll see Mike Smith tomorrow.
I think that was the plan coming into this two-game set.
Nieto at the side, taken away by Chip Chura. And now skating back into his own zone is time again for Kyle Chipchura, and up the right side, Connor Murphy back for McGinn. And offside is Arizona.
This is a huge set of games for this team. Not just for the goaltenders, but for all the players. I go back, Randy, to when I played for the Ottawa Senators, their first year in existence back in 92-93. Only won 10 games that year, 10 or 11 games that year. 2 to 3 years later, there were only 4 of us still in the NHL. So you're looking at a bunch of guys here with their record. If you don't make the playoffs, there's going to be changes. There's going to be guys that could be on different NHL teams, or they could be in the American Hockey League. So this is huge audition for young players on both teams.
Hurdle a pass up the middle. Stone back the other way, puts it off the end board. Reeder there. Stone for Arcobello, and now to Ekman-Larsson. Badoon. And the Sharks clear. Hurdle at center now with Marleau on the wing. Drops it. Irwin a shot, and a good one, and Domingue makes the save. Looked to drop it there a bit, but covered.
Well, nice heads-up play by Hurdle in the neutral zone. He makes a pass over to Marleau, and then Irwin joins. And you can see Hurdle going to the net. Nice little crisscross just inside the blue line. Creates a little confusion. Backs up there deep. Hurdle's in wide all by himself, and that's a big-time save right there. If there was a rebound, Hurdle was in all alone. Ben Smith. Off the face-off win, and now the battle behind the net out to Brown. And Goodrow. And Brown again. Goodrow. Tried to recycle it back behind the net, but it's intercepted. Ben Smith, by the way, Wednesday night here, was perfect in the face-off circle. He was 8 for 8. Saw a good win on that last face-off by Smith as well. Tonight, not quite as dominant, 40%. Pavelski's the hot hand in the circle tonight.
Stone, and back on it for the Sharks is Brendan Dillon. Arizona on a line change. Pavelski hands it off, gets it back from Thornton. Ekman-Larsson back defending against the Sharks' top line. Pavelski. Stollery to Burns. Pulls the trigger, blocked in front. Pavelski wanted Carlson off a skate.
Right idea by Pavelski.
Thornton's pass broken up, but now Carlson in a battle on the boards gets it back to Thornton to Pavelski, and a great defensive play there right in front of the net. There's a shot that breaks the stick of Carlson. Pavelski back on it to Burns at the point. Marleau turns, fires, and a partial block by Ekman-Larsson.
He's made 3 tremendous defensive plays on this shift alone. Ekman-Larsson has.
Thornton, that's blocked by Gagne. And out to center. And Moss will send it across the ice. After it is Hurdle. In with Marleau. The pass far side for Couture, broken up. In comes Arizona, and a save by Niemi. Just over 8.5 to go. A 1-goal game.
The game, and why not Logan Couture? Sharks get the puck out in the neutral zone. Quick transition. Nice little dish pass. Hurdle to Couture. Oh! Off the post. Look at that. Off the outside of his skate. Makes it look so easy. Kicks it up and goes far side. Moving to his right. Goes far side. Bar down. That's the ram shot of the game from Logan Couture.
5-game point streak now for Couture. 7 points over the last 5. Badoon. Doan gets it away. Top line on for the Desert Dogs. Shane Doan. Drops it for Tobias Reeder. Reeder off the boards. Reeder swings it around for a shot that missed.
Slippery play from Reeder down low.
Irwin loses his helmet. Stays out there without it. Reeder and Doan working deep. Couture picks it off. Hands it to Badoon. Up at center. Marleau can't make contact with it. And Arcobello quickly up ice for Arizona.
Badoon's 3rd game. Stollery's 1 on defense for the Sharks. Like the way both of them played here tonight.
7:44 to go. Now there is, in his first game as a San Jose Shark, 27-year-old Carl Stollery. 7 games prior to this, all with the Colorado Avalanche in the NHL. He has no points in the NHL, but he has some in the American Hockey League. And there's Taylor Fedun, who made his debut for the Sharks in this building here on Wednesday night against Colorado.
You know, they've been in some real pressure-filled games down in Worcester, so coming up here, they can handle that. They vie for a playoff spot, as you said earlier. They've won 7 in a row, 1 earlier tonight.
Braun at the side of the net now from behind the goal. A scramble, and Niemi dives out, beating McGinn to the puck, and now a little extra as McGinn and Dillon go jaw to jaw.
It's not very nice. A couple of ex-teammates. That's what I love about hockey. You know, you can be teammates, but as soon as you're wearing, you got different colored jerseys with different logos, there is no friendship out there. A couple of shots for each other. And see, I don't think the refs are. Yeah, maybe our. Here's a look from our Prism net cam. Niemi, little left skate push over to the right side, covers it up before the shenanigans begin. Yeah, we get a couple offsetting roughing penalties. Open up the ice for a little 4-on-4 here with 7:23 left.
Former teammates, but it's all business when you change sweaters. Would be akin that if I were to move on to another organization, Jamie, we would have a friendly relationship, but, you know.
Oh, not on game day, Randy.
On game day down in the press room, who knows, you know, might be jaw to jaw. I'm not going to drop the gloves with you.
I'm not saying I'd be throwing peas at you or anything across the table, but just keep your head up. Keep your head on a swivel down there, Randy.
So the offsetting minor penalties after that minor skirmish between Dillon and McGinn. A little 4-on-4 play here in the third. Burns trying to hit Pavelski coming out of the zone, but didn't get it to him. Ekman Larsson trying to squirm away from the Pavelski forecheck. Now on second effort he does.
Sharks have done a good job of containing him from an offensive standpoint all night long.
Burns on this side of the ice now, and he'll shovel it down in the corner for Marleau. Back for Burns. Snaps a shot, blocked by Arcabella. And now Arizona attacks. Reeder drops it for Arcabello. Marleau has it, fans on his pass, and then sends it deep for Couture. Logan looking for help, gets it wide to Marleau. And his pass for Irwin deflects away. And here comes Irwin. Getting it back from Tierney. Now Tierney with a shot, save, rebound, score! Matt Nieto, a big goal for the Sharks. It's 3-1.
Indeed, it is a big goal. There's just getting pucks to the net, and Nieto just stays with it as he's falling. There's the shot, and he kind of kicks it up a little bit, battles the goalie stick and a defender stick. There's a nice look from the Prism net cam, and Nieto just kind of pokes at it with his backhand. You go to the net, you get pucks to the net, good things happen. And Matt Nieto in that third line, even though that was 4-on-4, huge goal for he and Tierney out there.
Tierney and Irwin get the assists on the 9th of the year for Nieto. 14-10 time of the goal, and the Sharks get back the 2-goal lead. Now Marleau trying to stop one, Domingue the save. Badoon, Stovery, delayed penalty coming up against Arizona. Matt Nieto here in the third, a big one for the Sharks. Here's tonight's Toyota game summary. First period, the Sharks score 58 seconds in. Logan Couture, 27th of the year. Then at the 5-minute mark, right after a power play gave them some momentum, Joe Pavelski, his 37th in the second period. Just the one goal, the only goal tonight for the Desert Dogs. Mark Arcabello and then Matt Nieto there just moments ago to make it 3-1. Nieto's 9th of the year. That goal coming 4-on-4. Now we're going to have a Sharks power play, briefly 4-on-3, because of this on the high stick by Michael Stone.
There's the high stick on Fedun down low. So a huge turn of events here, if you will. At 2-1, close fought game. That next goal being so important. Not only do the Sharks cushion their lead with the Nieto goal, then the next shift out there, they draw a penalty with 5:29. This is killer instinct time.
Starts 4-on-3 for only 7 seconds. Burns, Couture. Back to Burns. Domingue the save, and now it's 5-on-4 as McGinn and Dillon skate out of the box. Marleau in, out of the reach of Domingue. Thornton on the far side, and his blind pass intercepted. Cunningham for Arizona. 2-on-1. Vitale shot. It's in the crease, and the net's off, but the puck never went in. Logan Couture ends up deep in his own net.
I think Cunningham thought it went in. This is a 2-on-1.
Started on that.
There's the pass across. Vitale gets the shot. He doesn't get everything on it. And watch Cunningham. There's a battle right in front of the net. And oh, there's the puck. Yeah, it never went in. There's a nice look from the overhead. Burns kind of slides in. It was Burns actually he swatted it out not once but twice. There's a look from the prison net cam. There's Burns. He gets it out with a stick, and we don't see the second one because the camera gets taken out. But he swatted it away with his hand. So an alert play. He was the one Burns was on the 2-on-1 against, and then 2 heads-up play right in front of Niemi.
Wingels wins the faceoff, and the Sharks back on the power play here.
It's a breakdown from the Sharks. You've got a 2-goal lead. You don't want to give up a 2-on-1, shorthanded 2-on-1 at this juncture of the game, let alone at any time, but in particular right now.
Tierney, far side, Wingels for Irwin, a giveaway. Here's Chipchura. Down the right side, Niemi comes out and gets it away to Wingels. Good gamble by Niemi. It worked. Irwin, and that's blocked. Tierney can't hold it in, and Chipchura comes back the other way for Arizona, and he'll dump it in.
Well, clearly Arizona is kind of cheating a little bit offensively here, trying to catch San Jose and get a shorthanded goal. Sharks have to be aware of that.
Moore, and Domingue has to play that hard with the goal stick, and it comes out to Thornton. Back to Burns. Marleau is able to tag up. Sharks are onside and on the attack. Pavelski. That missed wide, and it's chipped out of there by Jordan Schwartz. Thornton on the re-entry. Pavelski, Marleau can't find it. Murphy was there, perhaps in his way. Down to 10 on the power play.
Sharks killed off that power play well.
One shot on goal as Stone's back on the ice. Back to 5-on-5. And while they didn't score, it took a couple of precious minutes off the clock for Arizona. Smith behind the net, ridden off the play by Erat. Now Hertl trying to keep it alive. Gagne on the near boards, can't clear it out. Braun, that's knocked down. And cleared down the ice by Arizona.
Boy, Braun is fun to watch when he gets going. Oh, it's so fast.
Gagne's pass, Melker Karlsson with Gagne back on it. Under 3 to go. And Braun. Trying to time this just right for Ben Smith. Louis Domingue swings it over to John Moore. Arcobello circles back. And now it's Gormley for Arizona. Doan shoots. Niemi the save. Arcobello to Doan. The Arizona net is empty as Domingue is on the bench. Doan. It ends up on Gormley's stick to Doan. The tip wide. Reeder back out to the wing. A pass for Arcobello. Now Gormley back for Mark Arcobello. Doan poked away by Irwin, and Matt Irwin will send it up and out.
Great play by Irwin. First poke checking it from Doan. Then he established body position, had a presence of mind to take a step and get that puck out into some safe territory in the neutral zone.
Gagne fires it in as Couture went awkwardly into the boards, but he's up and all right. Ekman Larsson back, and the Sharks are offside. 1:26 left to go here. We remind you to stay tuned for Esurance Sharks post-game live. Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown, they are standing by. Brent Hedican will join them live from here at SAP Center as Louis Domingue goes back into the net, at least for this faceoff.
Sharks a minute and a half from closing the gap to 3 points behind Winnipeg, LA, 4 behind the Flames. And Sharks will be playing tomorrow, but there'll be a lot of scoreboard watching. Everybody's in action.
Burns with it at the point. Stollery a shot, and that's tipped wide. Erat for Arizona. He'll punch it ahead off Chipchura's glove. Domingue stays in the net for now. As we come up on a minute left, Domingue skating back over to the Arizona bench.
1 minute left to play in the period.
In front off Erat's skate. And now Erat back to the point. D to D. This is Ekman Larsson. Stone leans back, and Carlson blocked it.
Boy, that's paying the price, Carlson.
A shot by Gagne, tipped and saved by Niemi. Now Burns from the corner to the empty net. It'll be icing, but that's not a bad gamble with a 2-goal lead.
Well, it allows Carlson to kind of shake off that blocked shot. He opened up his right skate.
John McClellan can use his timeout here, too, if he wants.
Absolutely.
And he will.
Actually, Dave Tippett's going to call timeout.
All right. They're both from Saskatchewan, same difference.
Dave Tippett put together a little face-off play. He was a good centerman back in the day. There's the shot, and you're going to see it go right off that. Oh, that makes that like hurts my eyes. Skates, a lot of guys have a protective padding on the outside of the skate, but boy, I don't miss those days. I mean, he's shaken up, but that's paying the price. Ice bag hockey right there by Melker Karlsson.
Just under 31 seconds left. Sharks with a 3-1 lead on goals by Couture, Pavelski, and Nieto. Arcobello for the Desert Dogs has their only goal. Their net is empty. Arcobello. Gagne shoots, tip, Niemi save, rebound, Carlson. And he gets it out off Gagne. He was trying to work it wide for Thornton, who would have had the empty net. Now back in comes Arizona. Doan shot, handled by Niemi, and he'll hang on to it. And Chipchura makes contact with Joe Thornton, and that attracts some attention.
That sets things up nicely for tomorrow. Like it when there's a little animosity in the game of hockey. Cool heads prevail. Good job by the refs and linesmen getting in there, making sure that there's nothing further continues.
The only way his name would have been more appropriate to the way he plays is if they would have named him Kyle Chippy Chura. He's always had that edge to his game. There's Chipchura.
There he is.
Wearing the 8 for the Coyotes this year. One last gasp here for Arizona on a shot that goes wide. Arcobello turns, Niemi with the save, and that's it. With under a second left on the game clock now. They may go back and add a bit, but it's academic now. Barely time for a face-off play, and the San Jose Sharks are going to get the first half of the job done here and win this home portion of the back-to-back.
Well, that's what they set out to do. Looked early like we might get a little bit of a blowout, but I'm going to credit Dave Tippett and his Coyote players. They came out, played with a little more jam, and compete in the second period. Made it a 2-1 game, and ultimately that was a huge goal by Nieto with a little over 5 minutes left.
That's it for the hockey game. Joe Pavelski ends up with the game winner. Antti Niemi has an excellent 20-save night in goal. And he reaches the 30-win plateau, Niemi does. for the 4th time, behind only Evgeny Nabokov on the Sharks all-time list. Couture, Pavelski, Nieto, your goal scorers. The Sharks with 87 points, and now they're 3 points back of the LA Kings, who hold down the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. And these same 2 teams are going to do it all over again tomorrow night in Glendale, and we'll be on the air at 5:30 with Sharks pregame live. We're going to stay right here for the 3 stars, and of course Esher and Sharks postgame live to follow after that, with extensive coverage with Brody Brazil, Curtis Brown and company. The happy crowd leaves SAP Center with 1 home game to play next Monday against Dallas, and everybody leaving here tonight hoping that game on Monday means a lot, and there's a good chance it will for the San Jose Sharks. They win it tonight here over Arizona by a final score of 3-1. Jamie Baker's going to talk to one of our stars. Here are the 3 stars, public address announcer Danny Miller.
It's time now for tonight's 3 stars of the game. The 3rd star of tonight's game from your Sharks, number 31, Antti Niemi. The 2nd star of tonight's game from your Sharks, number 12, Patrick Marleau. And the number 1 star of tonight's game from your Sharks, number 39, Logan Couture. All right, let's send it over to the Sharks bench and join Jamie Baker with our number 1 star tonight.
Logan, I know you guys are probably doing a little bit of scoreboard watching, but you got to take care of business. You did it tonight. It's got to be a big win for you guys. You guys going to be happy with the way it worked out.
Yeah, it's nice to we can only control what we do from here on out, so take care of our games and see what happens.
Talk about Arizona, young team, a dangerous team. I know they're struggling. What challenges do you expect from them tomorrow night in Arizona?
Yeah, they got a lot of players that are fighting for NHL jobs, so they got something to prove. And teams like this are always difficult to play. We knew they were going to work hard, and it was nice to score right away, get up on them early.
What's an idea of the mood of the team right now? It looks like you guys are playing with more confidence. You've got points in nine of the last 10 possible points you guys have done that.
Yeah, we've been playing better. We've had some injuries, but guys have stepped up from the American League and we played very well. So feel pretty good about our team game right now.
Great job tonight on the win. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Pat.
Logan Couture, the 1st star here tonight. He had the 1st goal of the game and set the tone as the Sharks beat Arizona 3-1. And Sharks Post Game Live starts right now.